Good morning. It's Kimberley, the founder of the Infinite Spark Collective. I'm going to do the Frequency Directive reading today. Whether you're on the path of spiritual awakening, self-realization, self-actualization, whether you're a twin flame in a romantic soulmate relationship, having soul connections or soulmate uh, relationships with friends, co-workers, all souls that are in your life, you're connected with for various reasons. I'm here to guide you. I'm your teacher, I'm your guide, I'm your coach on this journey as living as a soul experiencing human life. I was up this morning getting ready to come on here and do the reading and picked a bag of cards. I actually have my cards in little shopping bags, kind of organized. And this one bag literally fell off. I've got them actually stacked in a bin because I don't have like shelving unit or anything right now. So 3 decks fell out of the bag, and they're all by the same person. Cheryl Lee Harnish, who happens to be Canadian, like me. So I'm going to choose one card from each deck. So Divine Guidance is her first deck. Path of the Soul Destiny cards. And Return of Spirit. So I'm just going to set the boxes aside over here on my bed. I hope you're having a good day. It's Thursday, February 26th. Where the heck has the first 2 months of 2026 gone? It's just crazy. You know, you get up in the morning and you go through your routine, and next thing you know, it's almost spring. Wherever you're watching from, I welcome you to the collective. I hope you're having a good start to your day, or whenever you're watching this. I'm going to tell you right now, if this reading does not resonate for you, go check out my playlist, because every time I upload a video, I add it to the Daily Readings playlist. And I always put that date, the day I do the reading, um, in the title, but that doesn't mean it's only for that day. Energy is infinite. So if this reading doesn't resonate for you today, maybe one of my other readings will. Tomorrow's Friday, so I'll be doing the Frequency Directive and I'll be doing the Collective Bridge. Mondays I do the Spirit and Heart of the Divine Collective. Wednesdays I do the Vortex Directive, which is Law of Attraction Manifestation. And like I said, I do this reading every day. That's manageable for me. I originally created, a list of readings to do a different one every day, and it was just too much. And I want to be able to focus on the information that I'm giving you. So I'm going to choose one card from each of her decks. And they're fractals. So if you know anything about science, fractals are energy and color. Fractals are the Fibonacci sequence. So they're basically patterns of energy, almost like crystals of the universe. You know how there's water crystals? Well, fractals are kind of the universal fractal energy. And it's actually a good thing the backs of the cards have different patterns, so I'll know which deck these cards go back in. So when you're watching the videos, and I do a post in the community, I'm asking you to check them out, make a comment, tell me what the reading I provide that you watched gave you. Did you connect with it? Now, today is Thursday. Oops. And as I'd mentioned before, sorry about that for dropping off camera, but I dropped the box. Thursday, the color energy is blue for the throat, so it's about truthful, open communication. And I didn't do my sprays, but I'll do them afterwards. I am going to do the 2 essential oil blends that I usually use before I do a reading. Magenta for cosmic energy. And soul purpose. Because what I'm doing with you right now is my soul purpose. That's why I came here. I came here to be a teacher. I came here to be a guide. I came here to be here to lead others through their journey. I'm trying to find, there's the one. Life purpose. Pink represents a number of things, but in this particular line of color energy, the chakra light pink is meant to connect you to your life purpose. And my life purpose and my soul purpose is to be a coach and a guide for all of you. I'm just going to spray myself with a little white light. I'll do my other sprays that I usually do daily and stuff before I do my own meditation ritual and so forth. But let's see. Well, now with these particular cards, because I'm fairly well versed in what colors go with what chakras, I already see a pattern here. We have blue, which is throat chakra. Well, that's actually more of a turquoise. It's more of a turquoise. I know you can't really see it that well, sorry. There, now you can kind of tell. It's more of a turquoise. So this would be the higher heart chakra, which is the seat of your soul. That's green, which is the heart chakra. And this is like a bluish indigo. So we've got, and it says intuition on it. So this is clear communication with your higher self. So I'm being told that you need to spend time with yourself today. Now, I'm just going to go through and explain, because all her books explain what fractals are, just for you guys, so you get a better idea of when I use these cards another time. Fractals are a type of mathematical geometry. They are self-similar repeating patterns, meaning the smallest part of a fractal is similar to the whole. Everything in the natural world is created from fractal geometry, from the shorelines to the forests to the human being, right down to our DNA. We are fractal, and the entire world is fractal. And the reason, or it's is for this reason, the scientists call fractals the thumbprint of God. Fractal geometry is complicated and must be calculated through the use of a computer. Fractal images are created using fractal formulas. The images that Cheryl Lee Harnish intuitively created for these decks can have anywhere from 50 to 500 formulas applied to each one, and each image can take anywhere up to 3 weeks to complete. Studies in the University of Oregon in the United States have proven that simply looking at a fractal image can produce a positive and uplifting physiological response in people. And not only did the participants of the study feel more peace and calm, but their bodies responded physically as well. Cheryl describes her fractals as living art. It is something that the subconscious mind can understand and relate to. And our energy bodies respond to the fractal art by expanding, the same as our physical body will smile when we feel joy. So the first card is card 34, and it is called Reflections. I'm going to hold it up for you again so you get a really good view of it. Focus on the center. Take it in. There is great beauty in all of our life experiences. And although you feel sad and down at sometimes, Spirit's reminding you that this is what can facilitate your greatest growth and evolution, both as a soul and as a human being. You are truly being watched over this time. Don't fear the darkness within. Remember, without the darkness there can be no light. And this is the time for quiet reflection and inner exploration. Through it you will discover your light and know what needs to be changed, that you may live a more authentic light. And this is basically about things that I've been talking about since I started doing these readings. You're here to expand not only as a human being, but you're here to expand your soul through the experiences that you go through. And that's why when I initially used my intuition to pick up on what the card was relating to, this, as I said, is turquoise. This is the higher heart. This is your thymus chakra. Your thymus chakra is considered by many spiritual teachers to be the seat of the soul. So whatever you're going through right now, just know that it's okay. You're meant to go through what you're going through right now. You're meant to go through it for the expansion of your own self. as a human being, mentally, emotionally, physically, and as a soul, spiritually. And that's why I've called this channel the Infinite Spark Collective. Because that infinite spark, that little flicker, that little spark within you is God. It's your soul. And you came here to experience various things. Excuse me for a minute. You came here to experience the impossible amount of experiences that even though you asked to experience them, they're incalculable. You can't calculate them because as a human being, we tend to get caught up in our thoughts and emotions, and we tend to get caught up in forgetting that we're souls here experiencing life as humans so we can grow. Grow as a human, which then grows our soul and expands it. So hopefully we don't have to repeat the pattern in the next life. Whatever you're going through, I want you to know that I unconditionally love you. I have compassion for you because I go through stuff too. Every day. Good and bad. I'm not saying if whatever you're going through right now, be it great, be it good, be it sad, be it not so good. There's a reason behind it. You asked to experience it. Now, I have said in other videos that we don't always ask for every experience, and that's true. Sometimes things just happen out of our control, and that's the universe's way of giving you, what I like to say, a checkup from the neck up, right? To kind of bring your alertness back to why you're here, who you are, who you really are. Because we forget. When we reach about 8 years old, those previous years from birth until we reach 8, we're conditioned by the human world. The people around us, our experiences, they condition us, and they condition us to think a certain way. We forget that little spark of God because when we were born, when we asked to incarnate, we brought that with us. And those first years of innocent life, we were actually spirit evolving as a human, experiencing life through the eyes of our soul. If you've ever watched children, you know there's joy, there's happiness. Creativity is, one day I'm going to be an astronaut. Today I'm going to pretend I'm doing this. I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do that today. Creativity for a child, joy, laughter. That's just who they are. Because everything that they experience brings them joy. Now, I know I can hear you thinking, I can hear you saying, well, I went through a really troubled childhood and all that. And you're not going to understand that, but I had a very troubled childhood. But it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all doom and gloom. It wasn't all abuse and neglect and all of that. We tend to as we get older and awaken to the experiences that we had that weren't positive, that quote unquote damaged us. We tend to dwell on those, and we tend to use those as the fuel that makes us show up in the world as adults as the way we do. I'm not negating those experiences. But what I'm asking you to do is, if whatever you went through as a child that wasn't positive, there still was a reason for it. And it's unexplainable, really. But if you look back on it now, like I have come to realize, it was meant for me to learn that when I became an adult, that I had to learn how to set boundaries. I had to learn how to say no. I had to learn how to not constantly please others and not look for validation from others and not seek outside of myself. And believe me, I still have moments like that. As I've mentioned in the introduction, if you're a twin flame, well, I'm a twin flame, and believe me, my twin flame has triggered so many of my wounds. It's not his fault. And what I ever trigger in him, because he sees the absolute truth in me, the mirror of who he is meant to be, the capability of who he is meant to become, I know that's my trigger for him. What he triggers in me is unworthiness, abandonment, the need for seeking validation. And I've really learned through that. And this is why I have worked through a lot of that, just with the little bit of shadow work that I've done and the other things that I've done, by putting my efforts into reconnecting with my soul, reconnecting with the God within me, reconnecting with the part of me that is not wounded, and releasing and integrating those wounds. I validate myself now. I love and nurture myself before anybody else. And putting yourself first is not selfish, okay? It's not. You cannot serve others from an empty cup. It's impossible. That's why people get burned out. This is why you need to take time for yourself. Now, here's the next card. Isn't that beautiful? When I look at this, I see flowers. I see a bird. Have a look at that. And it's card 12. Fertile. What did I say? I saw flowers. This is the card of creation and fertility. Although it can signify the possibility of pregnancy, it usually appears as encouragement to begin to take action. Now is the time to start the groundwork for your deepest inner desires, your dreams, your ideas, your plans. All the conditions are right for setting things in motion, to bring things from the world of thought into form. Well, I was telling you about the first card. Really, what my twin flame triggered in me was all my abandonment wounds. And the unworthiness, the rejection, the love deprivation in general. And I was going through David Kazanecki's Soul Work Journal, and in there he lists all the various wounds. And I checked every damn box. So as I'm working through the exercises in the book, I began to release anger and resentment and the need for validation. And I began to truly, honestly love, honor, and respect myself. I always have, but now, when you, when I did that, I went from the nurturing, soulful, divine feminine, and that's my primary energy. I've always been intuitive, emotional, soulful, creative, all of that. But as I began to allow my divine masculine within me to rise, I got on writing my ebooks. I got on looking into ways on how to create the business that I'm creating. I got into doing what I need to do in terms of the mental work and the emotional work, even some of the physical, because I do qigong, and um, stuff like that. When the weather gets better, I plan on getting back to the gym. It looks like it's going to start getting better now, so warmer in the sense of I might actually be able to walk down to the gym, or whatever. And I made the effort to take care of myself physically. I make sure in the morning I get up and I have my lemon coconut water mixed with a little bit of electrolytes. I make sure I eat before I have my coffee, and while I'm having my coffee, then I dip back into the divine feminine and start doing mantras and spiritual work and so forth. Being here with you right now is really a combination of me being in my divine feminine and my divine masculine at the same time. Because I'm here serving you. I'm here teaching you. I'm here guiding you. This is my business, the Infinite Spark Collective. This is my brand. It's, and I'm starting to build it. There's so many steps to take, and it's okay. I have to learn not to overwhelm myself. That card, remember I said it was the heart chakra? Creativity, joy, the divine masculine energy for taking thoughts into form, comes between the relationship between the heart chakra and the thymus chakra. The thymus chakra is the energy between the heart and the throat. The heart chakra in general links the lower chakras, which is basically the divine masculine lower earth-based energies. They're not negative per se. It's about the physical world. The heart is the balancer. The throat, the third eye, the crown, the soul star are all the divine feminine energies. Intuition, creativity, joy. Creativity and joy are also divine masculine, but they're in from physical, whereas from the divine feminine. They're intuitive, they're internal, turning within. With the previous card, it was saying whatever you're going through, right? Know that the universe is here to support you. I'm here to support you. So far, the reading is saying that you need to take the time to balance between your intuitive, nurturing, divine feminine, and we all have that. Divine feminine is not a gender. Divine masculine is not a gender. They are energies, and we all have them. But you're being asked to tune in to those energies. And whatever plans, dreams, desires, turn your thoughts, which are actually caused by the emotions you're going through, into form. I'm really trying to be positive here and uplift you. We all have dreams, goals, and desires. You need to do the healing to get to the point where you can take those dreams, desires, and what you want to manifest and turn them into form. And I don't mean just doing affirmations and meditating and all that. There's so many ways to take action. And if you don't know what those actions are, if you don't know what steps to take to make whatever your dreams, desires, and so forth manifest, and how the outcome is not in your control. Okay? But you need to do something. Read a book. Watch a movie. Maybe whatever. You need to sit and figure out what is your main desire, your main goal, because it's kind of like an umbrella. See, my main goal is to have a thriving worldwide audience for the Infinite Spark Collective through the various modalities that I'm going to do. Provide oracle readings like I'm doing here for you, ebooks, in courses eventually, a community owned school, all these types of spiritual things, but I'm also going to toss in psychological, somatic healing, and, other techniques to help you become the better version of every identity that you happen to be in. Because everything we are is an identity. Male, female, coworker, boss, wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, employee, coworker, excuse me, boss, friend, sibling, parent, whatever. Those are all identities. And you're not here to change your identity, because we have to live life in those identities as our human selves. What I want to help you do is become the better version every day of whichever identities you happen to be in at that day. And I think you see what I'm getting at, right? You're being called to do the work. And don't just rely on me. I'm simply putting the information out here for you. The work you need to do might be needing to find how you need to do the work, to do the healing, to balance your masculine and feminine energies within you, to turn your ideas, desires, dreams from thought into form. Yes, it's a lot of work. I know it's a lot of work. But you know what? Me sitting here with you right now, it is so worth it for me. It is so worth it for me because I know that I'm speaking to you from my heart, from my soul. So let's get on with the final card. The reading has been 35 minutes already, but hey, I had a lot to say. This is from the Return of Spirit card. Let me pull that back. It's intuition. And indigo, this means your crown, but there's also, if you notice, some blue in there. So that's the throat chakra. There's also gold, which is your divine masculine energy. That's the yang. And there's a little bit of silver, so there's some divine feminine energy there too. But let's see what the card says. Uh-oh. Um, there is a focus right now on your intuitive and clairvoyant abilities. This card usually signifies an amplification of this functioning. You may find yourself feeling more tapped in to the cosmic energy field of information. This can include the sudden channeling of information from celestial beings, an increase in your predictive dreams, or sensing information from objects or your surroundings. I'm an empath too, so I pick up people's energy. I have clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. I have a number of the clairs. You can look that up. That's CLAIR. I think there's several of them. There's supposedly 8 or 10 of them. I have most of them. Some in, and all in varying degrees. Claircognizance is another one. Sorry here. Stay open to the flow. It's happening for a reason. You are being attuned with higher ascension energies, which are affecting the planet right now. And yes, this is a permanent enhancement. I can really identify with this card because this is why I'm here. This is why the Infinite Spark Collective is in existence now. This is where I'm meant to be. This is what I'm meant to be doing. Don't be concerned if you suddenly have a feeling like a peeping Tom when you start receiving information about people around you. Being an empath is not easy, believe me. If any of you are an empath, and there's different types of empaths, I've read about it. You can look that up. As I'm not going to reveal every single thing to you. You got to do some of the work too. You got to do some of the research too. These gifts are intended to work this way, and it's part of the awareness which the rest of humanity will experience when they're ready to move into the higher realm and the higher frequencies. Many people aren't. But for now, just relax as you adjust to it. The intuition card also comes to those whose intuitive gifts are strong but underdeveloped. Me, okay, they're getting better, much better, right? But that's thanks to my twin flame because he awakened my Kundalini and brought back all the abilities that I had, essentially, for lack of a better term, suppressed, doubted, didn't want anything to do with it. Like I was even doubting the existence of God, right? And everything. And then he shows up in my life. Enough said, right? It's important for you to trust that you are indeed intuitive. And this is an important part of who you are. You need to be open to learning about your intuition and your soul and your spirituality. You need to be open to it. Take classes, read information, speak to those you know who are actively using their skills. You may be rather surprised by how easily and naturally your intuition blossoms for you. The main thing is to trust the process of what happens. Trust any information you receive. The more you acknowledge and focus on your intuition, the stronger it will be, and it will become clear very soon how to use your gift in service. And what did I say? What are we all here for? Besides having all the experiences we have. I have said many times, in almost every reading, you have a purpose being here. Okay? Your purpose is to serve others. That does not mean you have to be like me or other spiritual teachers. You don't have to be a spiritual / holistic life coach. You don't have to do anything like I'm doing or anyone that you might follow when it comes to spirituality. You can use your spiritual gifts of service, but it doesn't have to be as a spiritual teacher. It doesn't have to be anything like that. It could be completely something else. And if you're uneasy with where you are in life, your job, how you're living, there's a reason. It's because you haven't found your purpose. And perhaps you need to start being service to yourself in the sense of honing your spiritual gifts. Okay? Not everyone has the capability of being psychic and intuitive. We all do to varying degrees, but you may have other spiritual gifts. You may have other gifts that your soul is trying to show you. The amnesia is wearing off. Take the time today, maybe before you go to bed, start a separate journal or write in your current journal about what this reading has prompted you to do. I'll be back tomorrow with another reading. Welcome to the Infinite Spark Collective. Let this be part of your soul's home and your spirit's home, and the home for your human self to grow, expand, and evolve. I'm Kimberley. It is a pleasure to be here for you, and I'll see you tomorrow.